expecting a better finish here. Of course, representing Denmark as the most players of ever right now, rocking through, looking really solid.
It's not about the takeoff though, Sancho. The launch pad is great. The ammo is used to. It's about that landing. What you do when you actually lead, lead and land in the zone. Max rotation for Thomas HD on this one. The half and half and desperate eyes looking in the nighttime right now all around. The entire map just goes dark as Storm Surge starts. So, Thomas and a bunch of people who are above will have to move, but people like Shizo, second place, they're desperate. Baiting this launch pad, it's genius, but it's seen. This is All-Stars. All good though, he moves 33 and caught on a tree too. No, now down just a sliver of HP. Needs to land a shot here or he's gonna go down. So close, 10 above though, a miracle from Shizo.
Just survives that Storm Surge just a bit. Luckily he has the Chug Cannon, but that Chug Cannon is on a cooldown. Thomas HD now taking flight, flying over Shizo here. No tags on Thomas HD as they make their move, but Vino, oh no, Vino gets attacked from Shizo. You're wondering where Vino is. There he is, and Shizo, satisfied with that tag, is gonna move on through and make his way into the safe zone. Tayson picking up Hottie in the feed. Savage right in front of Shizo. Savage could go ahead and pick up this elimination. Deceptos did get an Elim on this rotation. He's just right above Shizo here as the lead is flying up right now, Shio.
Second place is struggling right now and passing by the first, and boom, another pump coming down, but they're only hitting for 27s. Shizo low mats, I get it, but how is he allowed to do this? No one else is looking at him. We're punishing him for being in the open. He's going straight for Vino. He's trying to take the throne, but he's not going to be able to penetrate there just right yet through the wall. Shizo will have to move over to the left side. Oh my god, the mats are shambles, but somehow has found a way to survive all the way towards the back inside this zone. No one is here. It's a barren wasteland. Has to use his final mats to try to get in. And it's a small top corner of the box that keeps second place inside the running.
He pushed Vino to use his mats to get up away from him. Now he's down to one, desperately hitting, and Shizo finally gets found out by Noah Riley. And Noah Riley not only rewarded with those 2 Elim points, but also rewarded with that Chug Cannon. So that's going to be a great win condition for him going forward. Vino with 1 Elim. He's known to do well. Picks up some big ones on Wazy. Wazy now has to bottle up and get away from that pressure. Chapix, who we saw earlier, poke at Benji Fishy. Now we're on board with Andelix, the Frenchman, with only 9 points. Deceptos gets swag. Thomas HD, is that the snipe that we were looking for on Chapix? I believe so. And Andelix is going to use the spoils and pick up the loot. I believe it was. We're going to take a look. Hope we got a replay of that.
Absolutely crazy because Chapix, this man is that half and half high ground king. Thomas HD taking him out, it looks like, from a mile away. Andelix now controls that high ground. This man that's been suppressed the entire, I would say, back-to-back FNCSs. So close towards that top 3. No teammates to worry about right now, though. No off-spawn contestants. It's about him controlling the end game. There's a reason his name's popping up on every single region right now. It's because of how good he is at maintaining control. The thing is, though, Vidil, he's looking for the retake. He's going on the left side. That zone, it's all the way towards the back. He chooses actually to drop down and not go up. This does thwart Andelix's plans, though. He's worried, and he's focusing on Vidil. Meanwhile, Thomas HD, this man's in mid-ground, Sancho, and he's looking pretty good.
Coming into the fight in 7th place, you saw Vino as well in the POV. Our first place leader still looking solid in this fight. Safit picking up Blackie. Wakey taking out Vino. Our first place is gone as Thomas HD is on the same layer as Wakey here. He might be able to pick up this elimination, but he gets tagged for leaving that edit open here. Thomas HD is in shambles in a bit when it comes to the health-wise, and he has to work on through because that storm is on the backside. Paco picking up Wakey in the feed here as Thomas HD has no point, but he has to go down into the depths of the low ground where we all know there's so many other people desperate, and that desperation comes through, getting taken out.
Andelix went close down and personal with Vidil to maybe have a conversation with him, keeping down below, saying, hey man, stop these retakes. At the same time though, looks like on the right side there's more players who are looking to gain and take height. Height has been the thing that's been winning these solo games towards the very end. We're now going towards the 8th zone. Deceptos, Greyangel, Light all the way down below. Tayson's still alive as well on the same layer as Vidil, but it's Andelix who gets to play this 90-degree angle and sit like a king all the way up on height. Tayson, though, meanwhile, on the peasant layers down below, it's chaos all around. You open a wall and 4 different shotguns get shot in front of you. He's looking to see what he can do next. So much loot down there, so many mats. He's baiting it, and boom! Kinzel, he takes a huge shot, but none of these bulls are his own. 7 mats now for Tayson as he's looking to survive. Light, he gets shut out. And now with 6 people left, this is where that real big placement comes in.
Regardless of the finish of Tayson, this is a great game for him to follow up that victory out. These are the string of games that you need to be able to solidify yourself in a top 3 situation in terms on the leaderboard. Kinzel, a big name in the region, a DreamHack champion, now moving his way through, trying to pick up as many loot as possible here. Has the chunk cannon, and he has 2 to work with. This is a top 5 situation. Game 3 of the All-Star Showdown solos, and Cammy Andalex finally picks up an elimination and cashes in on this high ground power place.
It'll be Tayson right now. He's going to be organized. Andalex will be looking for control. Kinzel, he's looking to survive. We'll see exactly who can move in, and I believe Bubak's the last player here too, who's just absolutely chaotic. Breaks the wall in front of him and takes a shot. It's a steep price to pay to stay alive. And now Tayson, barely any builds. He's using the last few for the final fight. Takes 1 more. Zone damage. Boom. Gets in. Has the jump on Bubak. And a full HP player gets taken out. A lot of mats for him to work with now. But still, Kinzel, he's on the sidelines. 6 HP. Blocked off in the zone. Huge from Tayson. Can he get 2 in a row here? It'll be against all odds right now as Andalex has the world and more on high ground. The pressure's there too. This will have to be the retake of the century. Chuck Splash Cannon in the storm. Dips back in. But no, Andalex puts a cap on it. Puts a shot on it and takes away game 3.
Let's take a look how it all went down. Andalex from the high ground picks up 1 elim, and then he finally gets the last 2 there. That was huge to stop Tayson. That may have saved the tournament from Tayson, because Andalex, the former FNCS champion, shows out and finally shows up. You talked about redemption. This could be the start and the rise of Andalex flying high with Team Falcon.
Absolutely. That entire game was just a roller coaster of emotions left and right. I was wondering, how would it look if Chapix had a chance in half and half to play out? I mean, even Savage rolling in some struggles here and there, but at the same time, he's picking up a few eliminations. It feels like all our competitors are finally waking up now halfway through the competition. Fino actually taking shots with Shizo as well halfway through, Sancho. That was a game that had effects on every single portion of the leaderboard.
The pressure is rising. Game 3 in the books. Let's take it to the analyst desk of Zeke, Reese, and Levin to tell us what's up.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Games. I mean, this is pretty good. So Andalex, I like what Sancho said there, just kind of holding off Tayson for a little while, okay? Andalex doing his best job. I believe I only saw the 2 eliminations, and that worries me, friends, because yes, the eliminations and the victory route are great, but you really need to get more than just a handful. 2 or 3 is really not enough. But Levin, once again, Tayson, I mean, this guy, you top 5, made top 5 in the FNCS Invitational and solos. Once again, back at it. He was your prediction, and right now, he is holding on to that #1 spot. Had he gotten the victory out, those extra little points might have been helpful, but honestly, Levin, coming up and making it all the way into 2nd place, he's already won. That's a victory in itself.
Well, look, you're sitting there above. You can't, be too safe. It's only game 3. 3 eliminations in the 2nd place isn't too bad, especially coming off a 1st place with 4 eliminations. Andalex did actually have 3 eliminations, Zeke, so he's sitting there in 11th, just outside the top 10 now. That's a nice game for him to start to get back involved in the action. And honestly, look, that was a nice finish. The casters had me on edge there because they were making me believe that Tayson could have that comeback of a century, but it did end up going to Andalex, and standard win for him, and it's good to see him finally getting involved, Reese.
It's good to see him finally getting involved, and in all honesty, this kind of reminds me of his last season too, where they had a really bad first day in trios, and then the 2nd day they came back up. But look, we have to talk about that clip by Noah Riley right there. Ulrich, someone I know on Twitter, tweeted that Nate just got the Noah Riley treatment, and that is exactly what just happened. Absolutely beautiful box by him. And again, this is Thomas HD. Remember, he was 3rd coming into this game, but just was not able to put it together, having such poor rotations earlier on coming into 5th zone, just didn't have anything to work with in the moving zones.
Yeah, this is, I talked about the chaos earlier, right? There is just so much going on, but you're seeing now, even with the storm, you have these players who are able to just stay consistent. And Tayson is really showing how to do that. When he's on low ground like that, he is just going to hit you shots. He is going to get their limbs. And to be honest, there wasn't really much he could do here against Anderlecht, and Anderlecht is positioned here with so much health, with so much materials. It was just a matter of how long he could stay up for. Honestly, though, if you want to win the All-Star Showdown, you gotta start picking it up, because Tayson will just run away with it if you allow him to continue to have these games. It's crazy, because you look at the limb feed and you think, oh my gosh, all these players going down, you know, there's so many, you know, who's left? And then you see him right there, Tayson, you just see him in there in the end game, right? You have all these top players cycling in, all these players who expected to do well, cycling in game to game. But Tayson so far, since that second game, just been there. And that's what you need if you want to, you know, be someone who's winning these events, right? You need to have a couple of these good games. You know, one more good game from Tayson and, you know, you might want to start hanging it up. Do you know what I mean? You know, you switch off your mouse, you know, put it up for charge and just move on to the next competition, because he can just run away with it if you give him that opportunity.
Yeah, I kind of said a few times that in a 6-game format, you need 3 good games. You need a first or a second, something close to another top 3, and then a kind of top 5, maybe top 10, depends on what the other players are doing. Well, he's ticked the 2 hardest of them off the list already, a first and a second. 3 games less, you know, there's definitely still close, like Vino and Floki still super, super close to him, and Jetsku actually in 4th on 50th as well. So 3 more games left to go.
I hate to cut you off, but I'm getting worried. The bus is going. We got to go back onto the casters, so send it back their way for the next game here from the FNCS Invitational.
Hey, the FNCS Invitational might get renamed to the TNCS Invitational, because right now, Sancho, it's Tayson's world, and if it's one more game, it might be his universe that we're living in.
I mean, Tayson landing, you know, where he is be able just to have so much mobility, so much freedom to do what he does best. And Tayson right now, this is match 4. You're seeing the island there, and it's about to be filled with all our competitors. Right now, our top 3 is Tayson, Vino in 2nd, Floki in 3rd, Jetsku actually with a surprising performance in 4th, Shizo, who's been in 1st for a long time, in 5th, Kenzel, the 2-time DreamHack champion, in 6th, and you have Fast Roki in 7th and Bubak in 8th. But wow, anything is happening right now. The chaos is unfolding, Shio. So match 4, I don't know what to expect anymore, to be honest with you.
I want to see players looking at the skies more right now. Every end game we've been watching so far, it's a person who has height by like the 7th zone that just ends up keeping it the entire time. Those mid-ground layers end up elevating the entire build to about 7 or 10 layers. It's very hard for anyone to try to retake that entirely. So high ground can just sit there, do what they want. For some people off spawn too, I mean, they've been struggling. Snazy, he's popping minis, he's looking good. Last time had a free Elam almost, but didn't have enough pressure put down to actually wrap it up. Zyku will be here again. Snazy won't have the option to get all the mushrooms and whatnot here either, but he has the chance to just beam him all the way through. One more wall separating Zyku from just living or complete failure, and somehow he gets to run away again.
That vault is not going to be a safe place for you to retreat to. Zyku now on the back foot, wheeling, about to get knocked out here. Snazy now has the SMG. He does have those close quarter weapons to take his engagement. Last time we were tuning in, he only had an AR and a sniper. He closes that out, no doubt, seeing his former partner. In terms of his current trio mate, Anderlecht get the victory out, maybe give him a little bit more power. But now we see Joku, a former teammate at Jetsku here, and in another battle with Panics.
Oh, this is a strat I have not seen before. And while it happens, Spink actually takes out Benji this time off spawn, so that fight's also going back and forth. Did he end up sprinting there and have Jaco hear him? I'm not sure, but the alpha position, I guess, is not going to work, or I guess he's going to keep going for it for a long amount of time. What is this?
This is what solos can be sometimes, those ambush plays. I've seen they're being more creative. We see him at first start in bushes, but now it's like hiding on, I mean, it reminds me of chapter 1, hiding on top of a door. You know, that you could do that. You can sit on that ledge. You could do what Jerky's doing, chilling in the bush, down here the Slurpy Swamps. There's just so many different ways that you have to be careful. That's what makes solos so treacherous sometimes, is that the stress levels are at an all-time high, because anything, any corner someone could be chilling in, someone could be hiding in the cone, someone could be watching a chest. We've seen someone bait launch pads. All that you have to account to, as we're now in this new landmark here down at the dish. Let's take a look at the replay at what happened to Benji Fishy here. And it's the same thing, but this time Pink just got in there. He got a big tag right there and just claws out Benji with the barrel stuff.
Yeah, it feels like that's the difference once again between having an attack off spawn and having a pump. Pink just rolls in. Only has to just keep hitting left click on a target. Never has to switch. His fingers don't have to move on the keyboard hand, so he just has the best movement possible. Meanwhile, Benji hits that big 100 pump. Doesn't have the time to be able to switch again. It'd be sick if he could just shoot another shot, but Pink was there with it, was slightly faster, and that just gets removed. This time, though, the game, it looks like it's a lot slower, Sancho. 95 people still alive, only 3 gone down off spawn. Hen's gonna be jumping into Misty once again and looking for any way to get loot and get out, but with Pizza and Arden have too much of control of Misty.
As I mentioned before, Hen winning an NAE Solo Cash Cup champion. I feel like anytime we're watching DreamHack, Hen's always causing a nuisance in the North America side of things. And Hen finishing first place in the Season 5 trios with Hen and Janice. I mean, now he's just on this retreat right now, and I'm just surprised here. This guy finished 4th and 10th respectively in the solos and the solos invitational. And if it doesn't start now, I just think it's just one of those ones that's just a wash for Hen today.
Just talking about his heart beating 24/7 on socials, that he's, you know, really getting basically versed inside all of this. He's really immersed completely in the competition, and because of that, every surprise, every stressful situation gets him even more nervous for the moment. But I believe in Hen. For Teak as well, 34 points in total right now. He's about half the points almost of first place in Tayson. He has 69, close to 70. After some of the placements gets handed out in this game. A lot of these top contenders, Sancho, I think this would be the game where they have to have a stellar performance, or they're going to be looking to just get in the top 10. They won't have a chance to win the entire solo invitation.
And definitely Teak is kind of used to this kind of being by himself. They do that Cammy split, and you're usually by yourself for a while before you reconvene on that green bridge. And Teak is no stranger to the solos in the World Cup, finished 43rd. And of course, he is a 3-time DreamHack champion, picking up 2 solo victories, and of course, a duo with Seti. Here on the other side of Believer Beach, and now we see Nate, who got the treatment from Noah Riley. I don't think Nate will be a returning customer to the Noah Riley spa. I think he's done for the day and does not want any piece of that. But so far, it looks like Noah Riley may be on the north side here. Now we're back here to Fort Crumpet in a battle between Siberia and I think it's Jetsku underneath.
Jetsku made it pretty far in that last game, so had a way to avoid this fight off the spawn, it looks like. This time, though, when it comes to game number 4s, when we're rolling in and seeing exactly the adjustments people are making, sometimes it's to get more aggressive. Siberia with what looks like 0 points right now rolling in to today's tournament. He has to look to switch things up, has to look to get aggressive, but it's going to be hard to claim these walls to get a drop on a Jetsku. This man is really good at defense, and yeah, you can get a shot off of him, but now you've lost all control of the fight. You don't have high ground anymore, and Jetsku's looking to fight.
This is a battle between 98th place and the current 4th place. So Jetsku, a lot more at stake as Siberia goes for the SMG dive, hits the bottom of the pool, doesn't be able to cash in on that one. 0 points from the judges on that dive. As Jetsku, you're right, the defense is there, but he's very elusive. He's very tough to catch. And now Jetsku now springs out. I see in the feed that actually Andelix, the Game 3 winner, going down in the feed. So Andelix unable to string those games like Tayson did earlier. And that's what you're going to have to do if you want to have the big zeros added to your paycheck.
This elusiveness comes at an expense, though, for Jetsku. So many mats invested here. That being said, he doesn't have to really use many more. Siberia is the one actually expending a lot of these resources to reclaim walls. And while he tries to, that single millisecond of a moment that he's replacing a stair with a cone, Jetsku's looking for that shot. Boxed out now, though. Siberia goes for the bullet instead of the build. He will have a chance to shoot, misses, and that costs him. Now he has to reset into getting these builds down. This fight is taking a while. That zone, that first one, it's been about 2 minutes since it's been rolling in, and finally hits these guys on their isolated fight on the top left side of this map. I mean, this is just going to be trouble overall, Sancho, for both competitors, even if they get an Elam here, even if they try to make it out. Siberia actually forcing the composure away from Jetsku. He was sick and tired of the fight, maybe running out of builds. He gets that Elam, and he'll actually be able to keep up with Zone to get back in the game.
4th place going down early in match 4. Now we're on board with 7th place coming into this matchup. Fazroki on the defense as well. Hen may be starting up as he takes out Mr. J. Vortex, one of our Elim leaders of the day, taking out Mappy. So Mappy is just inconsistent today, hot and cold, taking out the names of the E region while getting taken out. And Flick actually cleans up that in the feed as well. But all eyes are on Taysom, and we're going to shift focus. And look how Andelix went down there. He just went box dived and could not defend against Asterios. And we all know here's the Titans of the EU region, Vidil going down as well to Irezumi.
Man, these guys are looking for that, you know, the big shot and the control, and they're trying to play chess. And then you have the opponents coming in, you know, and just flipping the board. They're like, we don't care. What a good lane from Asterios there as well, to just roll in with that shot. That was just amazing.
And you've seen Irezumi, the keeper of the Aftermath, taking out Anas as well. So Anas and Vidil on the pickaxe right now of eliminations for Irezumi. And hey, you brought it up in your podcast, so I just want to bring this up. How you're in the solos, you're going to have those box diving defense and offense. And right now we're seeing that. We're seeing players using those box dive, being uber aggressive, forcing the 50-50s. And when you don't have the defense against it and you're not ready for it, we see the ultimate price is being eliminated.
They have the entire package here, and there's so many people who might not even be used to box diving, but will be forced to. They were trying to play passive. I'm not sure what Shizo's trying to do right now. You could just roll off the right side here, man, but obviously there's something behind. Is that there's no reboot card in the zone. There was something there. I guess I missed it. Maybe it was builds.
I mean, this is the thing, like, Shizo, yeah, you started off hot, but we all kind of be like, there was like an asterisk there, Shizo. We all know that Shizo, can he do it for these kind of games intensity? Yeah, he was able to capture the glory early on, but it is so tough to keep on. It is definitely a marathon here, and Shizo needs to survive that to be able to answer his critics, so to speak.
I still don't see what he was trying to do. Big trap, though. Not his 4, gets the reset, gets him up, but he's taking too long. Okay.
Wow.
That's the next shot, too. Everyone has a pump right now. For some reason, can't transition into a spray or upkeeping the pressure of damage fast, and it's costing them. This tack is just winning every single early game fight. And Shizo, I mean, I guess it's unorthodox. It's unexpected. He's doing some weird pathing inside that storm to find some type of item. It baits out that opponent there, and he just gets the Elam.
Shizo just silencing those critics for a brief moment here as Kinzel picks up Malabuka. Now we're on board with Thomas HD making his way through, and looks like we're going to have an in-game near Weeping Woods. So a lot of sight lines will be blocked by the trees. We always have to bring that up, especially in a launch pad mobility meta. So that's going to afford a lot of people to be able to get those easy glides here. Now up to Boney Burbs. You're taking a look at Reason, who landed here during the FNCS Trios. Reason has a great stake of overseeing the land here, looking for those valuable tags with that burst rifle.
He is in the scariest spot and the riskiest spot in the server right now, and it might not look like it, but every time I see someone 4 or 5 layers up at the moment, they're getting sniped, Sancho. Chapix, half and half, people rotating. Barely even peeking his head, he's staying dynamic. I mean, Thomas HD. It's just there, right? Like, it just it is so difficult to go for surge tags in this manner, which is why maybe we're seeing a lot of box dives, but for some reason every single tower right now is getting invaded by sniper shots.
And you're hearing those sniper shots ring out in the distance.
Absolutely. So we'll see. Reason make a switch right there. Floki finding out at Logjam 2. This will be a tricky type fight to actually get in. Up with the Burger joint as well. They'll dive in, and now the builds are set ablaze.
Floki in 3rd place here. So just like we saw Jetsku go down early, this is going to be big. He's going up against the FNCS champion from last season in Queasy here. Floki using every aggression he can with the pickaxe here. This is the nice pressure that we've been seeing. This is definitely expending the mats of Queasy here, but he forgets to block his backside. Puts up some mats and he keeps going forward. He has the tunnel vision and he has Queasy in his sights. He wants this elimination here, but you have to be careful. All it takes is one pump reaction, and looks like it's gonna have to be a tack shotgun reaction, and that will stop you right in your tracks as Matzo picks up Sapphik.
Queasy also up inside a fight. Still. Savage picked up left and right, yes, but from what I'm looking at right now, everyone's just forced into these battles just because
Look
of
at
the
this
surge.
feet, bro.
It's nasty. But Floki's found it, right? He's found it over and blocked it off with the ramp now, so it's not going to be possible to do.
Yeah,
Able to
yeah,
replace
yeah.
that wall. Gotta think about it though, Sancho. Zone is going to be moving in just a minute here. I know there's some people thinking storm surge damage right now around. It's actually Wakey who, oh no, loses his shield. That's even worse for the moment. These 4 people, I would say only one survives making it in the circle.
Who is going to be the one in this Fatal 4 battle here at Logjam? Janus gets taken out in defeat. Janus coming in 43rd in this fight. Wakey in desperate need of Storm Surge. That's why he's entering this fray. Here comes Slender. The 2 Loot Boys kind of swirling around this engagement now. Wakey has to get in, dude. He has to get in. He's not being really aggressive. He's trying to catch somebody, but the Storm Surge, those purple lightning is making him an easy target, and Queasy gets right in his face and takes him out quickly with some 2 shots of attack.
Only one person was brave enough to stay here inside, and that was Queasy. Look at this Elam real quick right now. Boom, boom, Wakey. Caught, like, you know, with his shoelaces completely untied. Drops a launch pad as well for Queasy to use for the rest of the game. He will be slightly delayed on that rotation, though.
Hey, you know, I'm not gonna lie, dude. It took me a while to learn how to tie my shoelaces, dude. I used to be a Velcro kid. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But now what I'm concerned about is we saw Andelix, we saw Snazy finding some success. X-Squeeze, their other trio mate, has not found any success here. Only 1 point to his name. The Frenchman is struggling today. X-Squeeze is one of those other people that are really quick to get into those eliminations. It's Janus, Noah Riley, and X-Squeeze. And so far, this is not working out for him.
Vino 2 is looking to just stay up top, and let's see exactly where he just came from. I see the sniper in hand. Okay. That's slow motion, so I mean, that's basically a quick scope right there that he pulled out. Drops that sniper as well. This is one of the coolest things about having these like very risk-reward power weapons. Once you get an Elam with them, once you actually have that risk of keeping them in your inventory, you can get rid of it, Sancho, completely. You can set yourself up with that sniper as well. You can pick up a lot of, you know, hop floppers or different things to be able to use that sniper from different vantage points, and then drop all of it when you get one Elam, replace it with what that person had, and chuck splashes into the inventory there of Vino as he moves. We saw what happened the last time he had them in his inventory. This man took the entire tournament by storm. First place in total. The wins look good. Everything, or just the consistency look good in general. He makes it so far deep into the game. A 5th, 4th, and then 26th place. Now he's going to be looking to get consistent once again for X-Squeeze. Consistency, I mean, that's just thrown out the window right now. He's trying to just get one game on the board.
You're all looking at X-Squeeze here. Comes in 11th place. Last time we had a solos competition, that was about 9 months ago. And now back to Mr. Savage, another EU star. Not yet. This rocket has not left. It's not in the stratosphere. It's not in space. Right now, Savage going for the clever edit down chop. Oh my goodness, but that gets the attention of the lobby. And Savage has been in this position before. It was last season in the FNCS. In about game 11, I believe, he was on this rotation through Weeping Woods, needing to have a game to be able to hold on, and now Savage still in the world of hurt.
I'm wondering why he just basically unedited all his builds completely. It feels like people would then catch an eye to that happening right there,
was
too.
up there. Maybe he thought someone was up there. I'm not quite sure, but I agree with you.
Yeah, that literally just got more eyes on him. There's something there that I guess I just missed, because definitely wouldn't be that much of an honest mistake. Still, he'll roll in, he'll get pressured, had lots of eyes on him. Maybe it was just completely indifferent. Cammy's kind of popping off and moving up the ranks as well, game to game, making it further on. Kaiser, I mean, he just picked up 2. I was looking at his socials for a minute as well. He was like, man, these games are not going my way. I might just turn on the key, and he really is. He picks up Cammy. He picks up another. He's looking to be dangerous. Shizo, though, I mean, I am pausing all my analysis when I see this man move. He does things I can't predict, Sancho, so I'm going to enjoy the way he's attacking the field right now.
What he has to do is use this unorthodox way to make his way through on this rotation. No arrows looking this way, and he's been free all day. It's just free. Sometimes you look at a guy, you're like, wow, he has it all, he has it all figured out. And then you try to mimic what he exactly does, and you pay the price. Folks, this is not supposed to be happening. Shizo's not supposed to be moving. This guy, all the bullets, he's like, enter the code. He sees the ones and zeros, and no one can touch this man.
This is just crazy. He gets boxed off as well by Bad Sniper. Gets the lift for now. Okay, the punishment finally comes in. I feel like he's surrounding himself with certain zones and players that might not be as good as punishing mistakes, or they're figuring. Sees that easy box up and trap. Gets the elim, and more importantly, saw to look at the AR, look at the options. He has so many. Gold Sniper in tow, purple tack, launch pad. This, if there's anyone on the server right now that has a maximum potential to do well this game, it has to be Bad Sniper.
Agent Bad Sniper took out Mr. Shizo, but we're taking a look at the mini-map on the bottom right. Look at this. Now, wow, Thomas AC actually pulls half and half, and a majority of the servers on the side. I was about to point out that the dead side there was not a lot of people here. Someone must have figured out that everybody has to be in this corner of the half in and half out, half in the storm, half in the safe zone here. And Tayson still alive with 3 peppers. This is a peppers. This is a recipe for success, and that recipe gets a little bit of splash of spice when he gets those tags on snap.
Everyone will be moving in. 200 AR is enough for him to actually do damage from long range. Has all the pressure as well. Gold tack moving in as he jumps from build to build. 4 layers up high in the sky. Is this high ground possibly, or a situation where he can grab it? Yes, but Queez is here now. Fleck and Shaycause, every single Titan that's been taken down, multiple big names is beside him. He has to be careful as Exterios goes down in the feed.
Now we're seeing another name that's moving up the leaderboard as well. It's Slender. Slender coming into this match with 10th place finish right now, sitting really solid with 50 points. He's definitely moving up the leaderboard. Look at this inventory. It's filled with a lot of mercury, and that is fish. He has 6 total, and 2 of those are hot fish. So expect him to be someone who could be to taking that high ground quickly. As Vino, wow, the Chug Cannon is there. 3 elimination. Vino coming into 2nd place into this matchup, and by far one of the most consistent players besides Tayson here today.
He's playing things so well too. You heard Levin talk about him, right? Like the OGs, they might be rolling in knowing exactly what the new players might not exactly understand what is going through with them. But we'll see Tayson on basically a complete different path than Vino when he's rolling in. Fleck and Alexa actually end up taking height. This is 1st place right now that you're looking at. He's gotten 3 points so far this game. These peppers last 1 minute each, so if he makes it to the 7th zone, he could have permanent speed rolling in all the way towards the very end. We'll see if it's possible. Taking shots at multiple people all beside him. 193 AR. He has a lot of time to stay online on these bullets as well, but each of these walls he edits, he gets closer to sight lines like Shaco's right there. Bad Sniper down below. He sees a launch pad to actually reuse, and boom, he's all the way up in the sky with 5 other people. Siberia and Irazumi's deja vu from last game. The same players. He goes to re-hit it, actually. Genius from Tayson. Head now in the sky, and he has a later rotation. Costs him a little bit of shield, but he's looking good. Vino's also in the sky. Thomas HD too.
Dude, Vino and Tayson did the same thing, and Vino went back again to hit that pad. That's how valuable that movement is. He knows he could do that with the Chug Cannon. He perches on top of someone. Now he's sitting above the chaos that's down below, as Thomas AC is causing that chaos. Gets a big elimination there with the green pump shotgun. This is what's happening here. Who's going to have that strong position on the front side? Tayson still pepperfied. Eats the last one here on the low ground. Makes this rotation here. No one in sight, and Savage is still in the feed. Up plate, but look at this free rotation as Bellix takes out Savage.
He's a spinning top rolling in on low ground. Every single person that gets right beside him gets slashed. A huge jumping shot from the tack to stop Siberia in his tracks. Now his eyes set on Kinzel. 51 damage once again. He's looking for the actual roll in knockoff shot. He's looking for that refresh of materials. Not gonna find it. Fucking Slender. They go down to Virox. Vino takes out Seti, so he's still active and alive. And as a refresh at this portion of the game, look at height though. Who won the fight though? It was Queasy, who now has control above the trees. He will not be disturbed for the next 2 zones. It'll be up to Vino and everyone on mid-ground to get a lot of those elims to switch up how things are going, or Queasy could roll away with the competition.
Let's see how it goes down here. It is 12 people alive. This is game 4. It's coming down to it here. Tayson on the bottom of your screen, Vino on the top. It is first and second, and that is what's separating the two. It's just a matter of points here. Tayson with a great, unbelievable 3 games finish right now. About to get closer to the top 10. If Tayson gets to the top 10, now Vino is going up for height. Queasy's on the green. He's in trouble now. And Vino's sitting pretty at height here. He's going to need a refresher because he only has soft mats and 25 builds. Trulix is able to catch Queasy on the low ground. And now he's back to old builds. And this is going to be huge for Vino. Not only that, the placement points will keep racking in as you see a new name join that Elim feed.
Vino up top, second place. Tayson down below in first, opposite corners of the earth. Trulix, he's looking for shots, has an entire angle on a full layer, but there's surprises around every corner. No one's going down. Top 10 as the zone gets smaller. We're in the final line here. 1 minute 20 seconds left for every competitor alive right now. Trulix sees someone walk above him, but he can't do anything. Sneezy behind this right wall could have that edit too. I don't know if this is the person's wall. Tayson, he's looking to clear a lot of things in front of him. Thomas HD finds Bad Sniper. It's up to Tayson now to stay alive. No one's actually watching where he is inside his portion of the feed. Vino now is on Thomas HD and dropping down a lot of pressure.
Vino has plenty of AR to send down. Snazy picks up Trulix here. We are looking at first and second. Once again, Tayson only down to 3 builds. And Thomas HD, the 9th place coming in. It's taken out by Vino. Vino, oh my goodness, you're performing out of your mind right now. And Tayson gets picked up by Hen. Actually gets picked up by Snazy. So Hen picks up Snazy. So Hen is right there. Hen having a performance that he needed. He had literally single digits, now in the double digits with 9 elims. Hen, the English Lord, is showing up. And he takes out, Naps takes him out. And Vino comes in, takes out Hen, and then Naps sits up on top. What a crazy ending game right there. Elims happening back and forth, Shio.
Domino effect in the jungle, and the mighty lion Vino gets taken out. My lord, that jump pump was insane. Hen was going for it, tried to, and boom, it was actually a clasping, just scissor shot right there. Both people snipping away at the HP of Vino. It takes 2 to take out the man who's been so consistent today. But overall, Tayson alive in that game. Multiple people getting eliminated from the backside over and over. It was just backstab after backstab. And honestly, I'm looking at the leaderboard changing up so much as well, from 3rd place down to 10th, Sancho. The top 2, they're playing really well. Everyone else, they're putting the pedal to the metal to be able to make it up high.
We're seeing a lot of the top of the board go down in that matchup. We're going to need the analyst test to show us what's going down. Let's kick it to the boys.
Guys, game number 4. My goodness, what is happening here? The chaos is reigning right now. And Vino, oh my gosh, just showing up in massive ways, Reese11. I mean, this guy is a solo player. He knows what he's doing, and he's ready to slay.
Look, you know, we talked about how somebody needed to step in to really be Tayson's competition in this one, and Vino's the one that's stepping up. And look, Vino is genuinely one of the most talented players that we have in the game at the moment, like I said earlier, and he's finally getting to show that on the big stage now. You know, phenomenal performance. You know, he's wearing the farmer's outfit. He's treating the lobby like they're a bunch of farmers. Like, genuinely, he is just, you know, he's performing amazingly. And you can see him here in 2nd place. Tayson still retains his 1st place position with place game. And even Thomas now, who's also been quite consistent in being in these endgame scenarios, sitting in 3rd.
Yeah, you know, realistically, looking at the matches between Tayson, you know, that we saw it in the first match, the only one that's really been able to take him out early was Vortex, right? So he went down that 91st. Then he's had a 1st, a 2nd, and now a 5th. Vino has just been consistent. A 5th, a 4th, unfortunate 26th, but at least got the moving, and then a 3rd as well. So huge plays from him. And we've got to give props to Thomas as well. Kind of up in 3rd, moving closer and closer as Tayson and Vino kind of separate and get the gap further between them. Thomas HD's still there. He's still in the running.
giving shout-outs all around the board. Let's give a shout-out to Nebs, the winner of the game.
Yeah.
You know, look, Nebs is somebody who, you know, he's been playing with Waze and Bubak, and, you know, there's been lots of conversation around that trio as sort of a new trio, you know, sort of on the horizon, and their performances have been put into question. Nebs now on the solo stage, you know, putting in a solid performance, picking up a win in a game like this, where he's not necessarily the most veteran, experienced player. That's huge for him in terms of the trajectory of his career moving forward. And, you know, shout out to Nebs, good performance. I believe he's at boot camp, right? So he's playing in like a LAN setting for the first time probably in his career. You know, that's huge. Props to him for picking up that game.
Yeah, it's huge. I know his dad's a big follower of the scene as well. He'll be watching, he'll be proud, he'll be happy about it. So great job from him. He's actually moved up till 5th if we missed that on the leaderboard. But this was that final moment where we obviously saw Vino taking that hike so kind of midway through the match. But because he'd obviously picked up so many elims, and this was the point for Hen. We got actually another shout out. You know, we've been shouting out players left, right, and center here, but shout out to Hen, who had 3 points coming into this game. So 3 points coming out into it, and just let me double check, what is that, 44 now at this point? So that was a 41 point match from him, which just moved him from what, 95th to 13th. So Hen could still be in the run with the next 2 games as well.
Yeah, and the thing about Hen's performance there that was really intriguing to me is you look at some of the good games we've seen from people, the likes of, you know, Tayson's good games. There haven't really been the high elimination ones we've been, you know, expecting out of the top players. You know, Thomas had a 7 elimination game in his first game, but Hen coming in there, you know, sort of leading the charge and showing, look, I'm going to pop off. I'm going to blow the elim record out of the water, do you know what I mean? And I'm going to really dominate like a top player should. So props to him there. I think if any of these other top players who are in that, you know, top 5 at the moment can have one of the games like Hen just had, where you just have, you know, maybe 10 plus eliminations and a first, second or third, it's going to get real difficult to catch up. So,
boys, we'll see, man. We'll see. We only have 2 games left, and then we are done with the action here from EU. But for now, we're going back into the game. So, Sancho as Shy Wager, back over to you, friends.
Game 5, and we feel alive right now, Sancho. This is where things really start to get different in the competition. Things kind of, you know, solidify up. Some people choose to be a little bit more gaseous and move all the way around the map. I mean, this is going to be where the pedal hits the metal.
Absolutely, and you're seeing the names of the region putting that pedal to the metal like Hen. Reese nailed it right there, literally vaulting up the board. And just how close he was, he easily could have been in the top 10 right now if he picked up those last 2 eliminations and the Victory Royale. We saw it. He got a big shot, and just Nebs was able to get it and just snatch away those 2 eliminations at the very end. But wow, this is the finish that we're expecting. It's All-Star Solo Saldown. And Shayo, man, I'm just right now, I'm just hoping maybe our prediction of Savage could kind of get up there right there just like Hen.
Possibly. For me, I'm kind of switching over the stocks from Savage to Tayson.
Do that
for the moment. I can do what I want. 100%. Right now, this man, he's holding in. He's tied for first place with Vino. I feel like Vino's also just having such cool ways of surviving all the way towards endgame. I mean, this is looking really good for Tayson, though. We're trying to see him, you know, it was the 1st, 2nd, and 5th now, that first game being a 91st. Game 5, I feel like a VR has to come through again. He has to separate himself from Vino and everyone else as well.
2 games left, my friend Shayo, and this is what's coming down to who's going to have those great games. Tayson, Thomas HD, and Vino. Your top 3 on the right side of the screen. Thomas HD, 7 elims, as 11 2K brought up in a previous game. And you know what? We all thought that maybe Seti and Thomas HD would collide, but so far they're, you know, being a little bit more intelligent when it comes to this. They're not clashing. They're understanding that the north and south side will be, split amongst themselves. And at the same time, you're seeing Pink and Benji are doing the quite opposite of that, my friend.
Yeah, I think when it comes to this POI, just in general, it's just really hard to get good loot and fight and be on good time as well. There's so many ways that, you know, Seti can go. And Benji on the turret.
He almost did it though, dude.
Oh my God, what? There's no way. Oh my goodness, 1 HP from Pink at the end. This man, the engineer, I guess, taking Benji Fishy out. You can't use the turret like that, my friend. That's a lot of damage, though. That was a ton of damage. Benji almost had it.
And though that is not a kind of one of those trap items, that is one of those things that permanently lives in the dish area, of course, to fight off the invasion. We saw the mothership. We've been seeing a lot of alien activity around. Of course, this is the cosmic summer that's happening, but right now, the sun is shining on Tayson. As you see, first place right now, tied actually with Vino, so there is a cloud that is about to rain on his parade, and that is in Vino. But if Thomas HT, who've been seen, who's behind 20 points, he could be able to have a decent place and finish, and Elims to back that up as you're seeing the rest of the leaderboard unfold.
Everyone's so much closer in every spot when it comes to solos as well. You never know when one person's been eliminated right off spawn, and you can just make up all the points and placement and many other places as well. But when you look at these games, Sancho, all the way towards the very end, they get heavily chaotic. Even bounce backs aren't free, right? You think that you have control of your lair. Suddenly, Fast Sniper's rolling on your wall. Suddenly, Thomas HD has to drop that on you. Even over here in these fights, it seems like, you know, Bayonetta, this guy is so far away. Bayon's just big chilling, and the Legend 27 rolls in and just ends up picking them apart, makes the distance over, and is putting pressure on his walls already.
This engagement's happening on the new POI of Corny Complex. It's one of those ones that you could have multiple people land out as you see Bad Sniper out in the distance. The Legend 27, a.k.a. Hycris, saw last season, came in 32nd place, battling Hen, Janus, and Chapix alongside with his trio mates down at Craggy Cliffs. Deciding to make a venture down into the new area of Corny Complex. And now things are getting quiet. This is kind of the MO of so far in these solos here in the EU region. It's a little quiet here around that 90th portion of those placement points. It's just a little quiet right now. They won't get doled out till we get to the 70s, but it's just so interesting to see how they're still creatures of habit. The stats, the numbers don't lie, and we're seeing how the momentum, the rhythm of the game happens here. We're going to hit a little low for a moment, but that doesn't mean, as you're seeing, you can still be active, and the activation is here in Believer Beach, and I don't know, 4ZR, I believed, but Noah Riley is going to come down and give you that treatment that he gave to you, your former mate, Nate.
Every time I see Noah Riley not have a fast fight, it feels like it's one that he can slightly lose. Whenever you're in your edits as well, you feel like you're unstoppable, invincible, but it's not going to be possible. 4ZR from the top side tried to actually drop down an elbow straight into Noah Riley's dome, but misses the shot. What an angle there to try to hit with as well. Okay, I guess 4ZR, he's been used to every single move that Noah Riley's making. It's that whole thing about, you know, reliving the same day, the same situation again and again and again. He realizes all the moves he's trying to make. He's dipping and dodging, not even getting hit. Noah Riley now up inside the water, one build left. 4ZR can really go for this one and get revenge.
This is the jump start that 4ZR may need. Only 5 points in today's competition, 91st place. Knowing that he has Noah Riley on the ropes, yes, knocked out KO. We could see another type of Hen performance. One tremendous pop-off game could get you on that leaderboard, and this is what's the magic of solos, especially with 2 elims. And when you get to that top 10, just like Hen did, you get placement points alongside with every elim here. So 4ZR, this is where it has to happen. You only have 2 games left, and you're in one of them right here.
Saw about linking the back-to-backs. We saw it happen a lot for, you know, 6-game formats in the World Cup where people have insane back-to-back games, 6-game formats in Cash Cups where, you know, the MMR is a little bit different. You come through and then boom, you're looking really good in your last 2 games. Right now, though, it's a set lobby. Everyone is going to have the same opponents they're facing again and again and again. They'll have to just switch up the style completely and pray that it works for those last 2 games. Not even when people are alive. Shizo going in for the shots right here, was looking so good in 2nd place overall at some point. But after that last game, not having much of a say in it whatsoever, so many people caught up. Now in 9th, rolling in once again. The tie up top is Tayson and Vino on 90. It looks so good for the moment. Shizo, though, he's looking to try to crawl back. The unorthodox playstyle, the southpaw type of boxer beats is going to be here, active against the Siptos, but this man is used to catching punches. Will throw one straight back, and Shizo will have to retreat.
Andelix eliminating Pizza. A lot of jabs are coming to Shizo's way. He is putting up a decent defense here, but Nebs, who's in 5th place currently, coming into this match, looming out in the distance, coming from the Deepwood Dish, formerly known as Stealthy Stronghold. And look at that repositioning from Nebs. The flank is there, and now Shizo's in a world of hurt. Deceptos gets the spoils from Nebs' flank, but Nebs knows that Deceptos is low. Look at that, with that siphon of health, gets up to 60 HP. Now he's gonna pop some minis and be at 110 HP.
Illocrat's finally picking up a few in the feed. This fight's going on all the way towards the backside. Nebs is looking for that back-to-back as well in this game. Wakey fighting once again, and he needs to hit shots fast now. I think it's the third game I've seen he's having some Storm Surge problems, but a nice 66 pump might be enough for him to just dump that entire fight and move on. He was definitely just looking for the tags. Will pepper straight away, leave Jetsku and Malibuka to their own.
We go from Shizo to his other trio mate, Malibuka. And Jetsku, who went down early in the previous game, slipped down to 4th to 11th place. So Jetsku has to put his feet in the ground to stop the slide here. Malibuka, satisfied with those tags here, is just trying to let Jetsku know that he's still maybe left here. Jetsku understands that he's still in danger. Malibuka just waiting for some opportunities here. Now it's still quiet. Wakey, literally, that's how far this man is away from this fight. Making his way through. This is game 5 out of 6. Right now, Tayson's in the lead. Vino and Thomas HT. Malibuka, 15 points, 69th place. So that's how Jetsku seems to be always in danger of running into someone on the lower of the board here. This is the first time we're seeing Matzo here today. Matzo having a decent day, coming into this fight with 24th. And Matzo has been picking up elims here and there. The run so far, Matzo is at 21st, 19th, 60th, and 70th place, but so far 4 elims total for the day, averaging 1 elim a match.
Let's put things into perspective for a 6-game type of format. I would say the first 4 games are like one movie you're looking at for all these players. Has a very similar plot. You're trying to do everything right? And then this 5th game we're watching right now, Sancho, I'm kind of equating everything to a trilogy here, so it's the sequel. It's kind of the midpoint. These guys will change things. It has as much of an impact as those first 4 games on how you switch things up. That final game is the ending to that trilogy of 6 games. I know it doesn't make that much sense, but bear with me. The trilogy of 6 games these guys are playing. In this one, though, this is where a lot of that development is done on changing things. A lot of the things we were used to in the first 4 games, you know, expectation, subversion, it might change completely. So we'll see maybe Stompy, who's been a little bit more aggressive the entire time, slow things down and look for easier shots. We'll see Panix, who's been waiting for Jaku 24/7, right? And being patient, actually being the one taken out first. And so in this second movie, in this 5th game, we'll see a bunch of that change and surprises and big twists you might not be able to be used to seeing. And then that game 6, that final movie, Sancho, that's where things are the most memorable. You see the best, most legendary moments. In this one, though, I'm just expecting a lot of these players to do things differently.
And we're looking to add another star to that championship walk of fame that's happening right here. Joku may not be that star today, but still making it this far in terms of earning his stripes in previous FNCS lets him know that he's still someone in that top echelons, that top 1%, so to speak, when it comes to the number of players in the EU region. Blackie out in the distance, who normally comes in from Lazy Lake. But Joku has some work to do to move on through. We definitely have to keep an eye on the top 10. And yes, here we are. This is the top 3 that we're looking at. This is 3rd place in Thomas HT, sending out beams all the way through. And this is where his accuracy, I think, affords him a lot of freedom at in-game.
This game will be a response to the 4 that he's played before as well. If we're talking about sequels, what is Thomas HT going to change in game number 5 that he hasn't done in the first 4 games? He's been looking to actually react to tall bases, take snipes, get damage, but at the same time, because of that, he hasn't been in control and at a spot to actually win out games or be at the best hype spots in half and half. Vino, meanwhile, Sancho, he's kind of hitting the shadows and maybe taking height where it works. He's been looking for retakes himself as well, but he hasn't been the point man, the front runner of the lobby. As a result, Tayson has so much room to work and just catch up with Vino at every moment you think that he has the advantage and opportunity. In this game, Vino will have to look to shut out another player, not just be a part of the shadows and then go into the light. He'll have to take control, but that comes with big risks.
Vino, as you've seen that stat fly in, has the most elims in the top 15 in this, and that was 4th place Kenzel. Right in front of him, I don't know if you wanted to pick that fight. That is a 2-time DreamHack solo champion right in front of you. And of course, we all know Kinzel all the way from the World Cup solos coming in 30th place. So that's the old guard versus the new guard. My favorite thematic story when it comes to Fortnite. It seems as though every tournament, Shiloh, there's always a new name making some noise. You talked about those OGs, understanding who Vino is. But now, if Vino could add the signature championship underneath his belt, that will definitely, what I like about solos is like a great tryout for future trios or future kind of squad games, whatever that comes down the line. It's like, wow, this person did really well in solos. I know this person is he's very intelligent in his rotations, and he could get some eliminations, and he could get those viable storm tags when needed. As you see in the feed, Analyx taking down iDrop.
It's funny you actually mentioned that as well, though, the whole, you do well in solo, so people pick you up for team modes. I feel like when you're actually rolling in with that narrative, a lot of that doesn't happen a lot of the time. The solo's skill might not actually translate to team play as well. A lot of stuff you have to do in solos is very selfish. A lot of the times you have to play for yourself. A lot of the times comms aren't involved either. So these guys, they have that raw skill that's coming in and definitely will be the points to, be curating that skill. But some people have both sides of the coin available. Kinzel, very good in team modes, very good in solos. They have the whole package.
I think in Vino's case, finishing 20th place in Season 5 of Chapter 2 would kind of pair that to that. That would be the complementary factor to answer it. Yes, he does decently well, and here is a nice graphic performance. Storm Surge here. Ooh. It's going to deal 25 damage, and it's at the same time, it's going to give a kind of a big target or bullseye on your back, understanding that you're going to have some pressure from above here. As you see in the breakdown of 70, 50, 30 players all ending on the respective storm circles here, and we will do our best to keep you up to tight of what's going down when it comes to Storm Surge. And is usually you'll see the lot of action, or as you like to call the spinning tops collide when that is revealed, and that's what Vidil has to deal with. I'm going to wait for a second. Nope, that man is one above and is in danger.
He has to look for shots, and that was a lot of numbers and words on your screen. It's very easy to say the what. To truly learn, you have to understand the why. Basically, there's builds, there's passivity in the game. You want to make sure people are getting aggressive. You want to make sure it's not just boxes all the way around. Servers can handle things too, so that Storm Surge has to be there. It forces Vidil to make smart, aggressive decisions, and it gives us gameplay just like this. He takes one tag, but at the same time takes Kiriachi out, will be 95 damage above, and that's the why right there. You get the fights you like to see across the Fortnite map. Storm Surge allows for people to do that, allows them to use their brains for certain strategies on how to get damage. It's a huge portion of the game. It's not always on your screen like the health bars you see right down below, the 97 and 100 on Thomas HD, but that 66 above on the right side, I would say is even more important than all the shield and health you can have in the world.
And he does not have a sniper. This is where he likes to be. This is very comfortable. Alongside with his trio mates of Anas and Flick, they kind of put up on these ridge mountain types as Ardent picks up Paco right there. But yeah, they like to sit up in these ridges. Let's take a look at the replay on how Ardent picked up Paco there, sitting on a stair right above, uses the attack as you're seeing is so aggressive against Bills, especially wood ones, and it was that dangerous 50-50. But now Ardent has a little bit of lobby focus in Kaiser, and I believe that is, I'm not quite sure who's up there. Yes, that is Blackie, who we saw a little bit earlier in the game.
And for that fight right there with Ardent, every box fight is basically about patterns in time and space. So when you're trying to break down a ramp, it takes time to basically, switch to your pickaxe and break that ramp and get an advantage. Because of that time, you'll see opponents move a different way in space right there. When Ardent was actually rolling in, he defied the normal time. Instead of taking out his pickaxe, he just shot that ramp completely. Because of the faster time, his opponent was misplaced in space, and as a result, he gets the elimination. It sounds kind of complicated, but basically, when you move faster in general, you find yourself surprising your opponent. When you go for risks like, using a bullet to shoot out a ramp, not having that bullet ready for your opponent, you could trick them up and then hit a harder shot. Ardent doing really well there at playing the mind game.